Hello, and welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel and the Healing with Homeopathy Substack. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I want to continue talking about important first aid remedies or homeopathic remedies that you want to have in your home. So, for example, the last Substack I did in YouTube video about this is calendula, which is a great wound healing remedy. It's like the homeopathic antibiotic, some people will say. It's great for opened wounds, particularly. So go check out that video if you didn't watch about calendula, so you know how to use that as well. So I want to talk today about a different first aid remedy called hypericum, which is one that I absolutely recommend everybody has on hand. It's a really great first aid remedy to have. Now, right now, I'm going to try to do like a little series on first aid remedies. I am right now putting these both on YouTube and Substack. Check out my Substack, which is Healing with Homeopathy. And eventually I'm going to do some deeper dives for paid subscribers on my Substack. So you can learn more about homeopathy. I really want to teach people about homeopathy at a deeper level. And the way that I feel like is a good way to do this is to do it on Substack, where I can really provide much more in-depth information and connect with you guys and chat with you guys a little bit more. And when you have questions, I can do videos on it. So I really want to create a community there so I can get you guys knowing and understanding how to use homeopathy a lot more. So go follow me over there. And if you're inclined to be a paid subscriber in the future, I would love that. So let's talk about hypericum today and why you would want to have it in your home and how to use it. So hypericum is like a really good remedy for nerve pain or shooting nerve pain. You want to think of this remedy, say you drop a giant boulder on your toe, or you smash your fingers in the car door, or you fall down the stairs and you hit your tailbone. These are going to damage the nerves. And hypericum is specifically good for nerves on like the hands, the fingers, well, the fingers and the toes particularly. But it's also good for like any kind of puncture wound, but very good for nerve injuries on the fingers, toes, and the tailbone, specific for those injuries. But you can think of it, like I said, crushed fingers. You can think of it as like nerve injuries from an animal bite. Like, so you want to feel this, like hypericum is specific for like shooting nerve pain. That's the kind of pain it's going to feel like. Okay. What else is it good for? It is good for, like, it could be like a tingling or burning or a numbness in the finger from the nerve pain. It could be a puncture wound, or it could be an animal bite that could give you nerve pain. It can have like an anti-tetanus property. So say you step on a rusty nail and you worry about tetanus and you're not going to get a tetanus, you know what? You can also use hypericum 200C instead. That's my recommendation. It's good for post-surgery. So if you have nerve pain post-surgery, it's a great remedy for that. Remember, the pains are going to be sharp, shooting, and radiating, right? So the finger is radiating up my arm. It's a giant, I smashed my finger in the door and now I have this nerve pain that's radiating up my arm, right? It's also good for, nerve pain after dental work. So say you have some nerve pain after dental work, it could be a really good remedy for that too. So you're thinking about it for any kind of puncture wound, any kind of like stab wound. It could be if there's nerve pain. You might need to use calendula and hypericum. That's another thing to think about. It's good for after surgery. It's good for stings. And even after like labor and delivery, if there has to be forceps uses or things like that, it can be good if bites get or wounds get infected. Um, Crushing injuries, like I said, to the fingers, to the toes, to the nails, shooting pains and injured parts, brain and spinal cord injuries, right? Hitting the tailbone, it could be to the brain and spinal cord, or even in a head injury. Hypericum is specifically good for shooting pains after head injury. So if there's shooting pains after a head injury, it could be after, like I said, a tooth issue, right? After dental work, could be like tingling, burning, numbness, or shooting pains. Pinched nerve in the back, it could be good for. There's a lot of uses for hypericum. I'm just trying to think after concussions, or after or lacerations or puncture wounds, injuries to the spine, shooting pains, worse when raising the arm. So it'd be worse with movement as well. Injuries to the tailbone after a fall, labor, or delivery. It's also good for phantom limb pain. So say, for example, somebody has a phantom limb pain. That's a really good way to use this as well. Puncture wounds, lacerations, and crushing injuries to fingertips specifically. Sharp and shooting pains as well to the injured spot. So hypericum is a really great remedy to have on hand. I would recommend having it honestly in a 200C. That's like the perfect potency for hypericum. And you could have it on hand, get a 200C, and if you have any, I mean, you could have it also in a 1M as well. That's a little bit of a higher dose. And sometimes we do need to take these higher doses because you want to meet the intensity of the pain to the potency of the remedy. I'm going to do a video on potencies. I wrote that down. I want to do that for you guys, and that'll probably be on the Substack. But the higher the potency, the more it can help pain. So if the pain is really high, you want a higher potency. Higher potency would be like a 1M or a 10M, because that's more dilute. So, but a 200C is like a good one to just have around. Like that'll act really well in pain situations because that's like a medium potency. So think of hypericum if you have a concussion or head injury and you have shooting pains afterwards. Think of hypericum if you have injuries to the toes or fingers or the tailbone that has nerve pain, shooting sharp nerve pain. There could be numbness and tingling. Think of hypericum after a dental procedure and there's shooting pain or nerve damage. It will actually heal the nerves. Think of hypericum after surgery and there's nerve pain that's left over after surgery. So there's a lot of applications for hypericum. So it's a really good one to just keep on hand. It's not a remedy that I use often. It's really more of this emergency type remedy, this emergency first aid remedy, just like calendula is a wound remedy, right? An antiseptic, an a natural antibiotic, right? That's going to make sure I don't get infection. This is a natural nerve healing remedy. It literally heals nerves. So that's what I wanted to share with you today about hypericum. It's a great remedy to have on hand. If you really want to be like really secure in your potencies, you could have a 30C for minor things. You could have a 200C for more intense things, and you could have a 1M for really intense things. Like I'm talking you really intense pain, you would use that 1M. So yeah, that's hypericum. I hope that was helpful to you and supportive. And if you have any questions about it, please comment below so you know like if and when how to use these remedies. If you want to learn more, I do have a first aid course. And I have a lot of homeopathy courses as well. So I have courses for ear infections, UTI, bladder infection, kidney stones, kidney issues, influenza, first aid, which would cover calendula and hypericum for sure, and many other remedies or in situations. And then I also have one for common childhood ailments. And that one is great if you're a parent because it covers all the things that your kids are going to struggle with. But of course, getting the bundle and getting all of them together is even better because then you're going to be able to be the homeopath of your family and be self-reliant. But you can also go and grab start joining my Substack and learn more. So you can learn more there because I'll share more there. And you can always book in with me for a consult if you have an acute situation. I offer acute homeopathic care. So if you have an acute situation and you want to support it with homeopathy, I can put together a little kind of protocol for you guys so you know what remedies to support you through the healing process during acute phases or acute illness or acute injuries, these kinds of things like healing after surgery. Like I do those things. I work on those things. Hypericum is not a remedy I've used very often in my household, but I have used it I wish I would have known about it when I dropped a giant boulder on my toe one time that killed me for days. That would have sped up the healing, but I didn't know then. But that would have been a great use. Or my brother slammed his finger in the car door. That would have been a great use of hypericum. Or when he cut his finger with a tuna can, that would have also been a great, really deeply, that would have been a great use of hypericum. But I have used it for nerve pain in like discs areas for clients, and that's been very successful. And also for tailbone pain, or like injuries to the tailbone, also very successful, and head injuries. So I've used it quite a bit in my practice, and it's been really, really, really supportive. And after dental work, there's a lot of applications for hypericum. It's one you definitely want to have in your homeopathic medicine kit. You can also get my free homeopathic guide. If you don't have that, you can get on and learn a little bit more there about that remedy and how to use it. So join the Substack, check out my homeopathic courses. brightlightwellnesscoach.com is where you'll find them, also linked below, and check out the Substack, like I mentioned, and my podcast, The Quantum Health Connection, all the things. Follow me on this YouTube channel, and you can learn more about homeopathic medicines and how it can support you and your family. Because I'm really passionate about spreading this knowledge so we can rely less on allopathic medicine and use homeopathics to support our health and our healing. So have an incredible day, and I will catch you in the next video. And please follow along on, like I said, on Substack. I will be uploading more videos that are just for Substack, like paid subscribers in the future as that platform builds and momentum. Okay, have a great day. Chat with you guys soon.